Oh my Jesus Christ, dude. We hit for 1,000,000,000 damage. 1,000,000,000 damage. Oh my goodness gracious. That is insane, dude. Yep. 1,000,000,000 damage. We hit for 1,000,000,000 damage. Not clickbait. This is the Death Star Amara build. Not kidding. It is the most powerful, most damaging build I have ever made. It is absolutely insane. And when you see the gear that I'm using, you will see that we have so much room for more damage and improvements in our gear that this build is going to be absolutely insane. Gonna play the montage now, but I'm so happy to show this to you guys.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity.
82 million! That was 11 million. 337 million damage.
About
You're kidding me.
It's all about humanity.
That's a lot of damage. Before we get into the build video and the breakdown of all the gear, anointments, skill tree, everything for you guys, I do need to say 3 things. 1, Happy New Year, guys. This year is going to be our year. I'm so excited for the future of this channel, and I wanted to thank all of you guys for all of your support. 2019 was crazy for me, and it was all because of you guys. And 2 other things. 1, I have a Twitter, and I need some followers on Twitter. So if you guys want to follow me, it'd be greatly appreciated on Twitter. I'll have a link for my Twitter down below. And lastly, on a serious note, I started a members only thing on YouTube. Basically what it is a subscription to my channel that is totally optional if you want to support me. Additionally, besides just liking and commenting my videos, you can join as a member. Members get additional benefits and perks, and it helps me out a lot. Totally optional if you want to do it. The tiers are tier 1 is that's a little damage. Tier 2 is that's some good damage. And tier 3 is that's a lot of damage. So yeah, that's new, and I'll be getting more into that later. But if you guys do decide to do that and join my channel as a member, it means a lot. And with that, sorry for saying that, I just wanted to get that out there. Let's get into the build video. So this is Death Star Amara. We're using an ion cannon and some cool tricks to make this insane. So first off, we're using Anima to give a dot that we're inflicting a longer duration. We are using a driver class mod here. So that dot means that we can proc it, and we'll get our bonus damage for longer. Super important. We're getting steady hands and wildfire only just to get down to the next tier, but it does help with accuracy. We're not really caring about wildfire spread chance because nothing's actually going to survive when we shoot at it, so we don't really need to spread chance of status effect. We're just trying to get down the tree. So we're using Tempest. Tempest is the best 5 points you could spend on Amara for elemental damage, shock damage. Dread is going to give us gun damage while we grasp. And this is a build where you actually get to use your action skill. We are going to be using our action skill a lot on Amara. With the Ricochet Witch, we never grasped enemies. This build, you will be grasping enemies as much as you can. So if you like using your action skill, this is a good build for you. Deep Well for more magazine size, and Indiscriminate. Indiscriminate is such a star in this build because your ion cannon can ricochet. And when your ion cannon ricochets, it does a solid amount of damage. So these ion cannons, we're using ×2 ion cannons because we're going to get even more chance that one of those ion cannon shots ricochet. When they do, they hit for a stupid amount of damage. And we're going to be constantly using ties that bind, linking damage to enemy targets. This build's crowd control or crowd damage is absurd. This build doesn't have a lot of survivability, but with ties that bind, we're going to be able to constantly throw out Ties That Bind, and we're using Ties That Bind with Stillness of Mind, which if you didn't know, puts all the enemies in the air, and we're able to use it so often that our survivability is great with this build. You're not unkillable, you're not a crazy tank, but you can do a lot of crowd control, and that is going to help us stay alive. We're getting sustainment. Now, you don't need 5 points in sustainment. If you wanted to tweak this build and make it your own, you only need 1 point in sustainment. 1 point in sustainment with how much damage we're doing is actually going to lifesteal you to full every single time. But we went all the way down to get Forceful Expression to get even more bonus elemental damage, which is really nice with this because we're already doing a ton of damage. So the bonus elemental damage on top of this is really, really nice for us. Next, we're going Do Harm. Do Harm increases the amount of damage that linked enemies take from Ties That Bind. So this synergizes really well with Ties That Bind. We're going full Restless because we're going to be using our cooldown or our action skill a lot. Transcend for that critical hit damage, for that big boy damage numbers. 1 point in reload speed so we can get down Ascend. Ascendant is actually really nice here because it's going to give us longer time and Stillness of Mind. And so Stillness of Mind is going to allow us to, like I said, control all the enemies. And when you shoot at one enemy, all of them are going to die. Wrath here for gun damage, plus 40% gun damage with a ion cannon is ridiculous. Now these 3 points here, guys, are so important. I used this build with Laid Bare and I couldn't do the takedown. I used it with From Rest and I could do the takedown way easier. These points in charge speed make the ion cannon ridiculous on Amara. The ion cannon has a slow charge speed, and remember that when we shoot the ion cannon, we're healing. All of our healing is from our ion cannon shots. We're going to be able to shoot the ion cannon so fast with this that you're constantly going to full health all the time, and this is what allowed me to do the takedown because I could spam out shots so quickly that enemies couldn't kill me. So this is really, really nice. I know that Laid Bare is more damage, but From Rest, I promise you, is a really smart pickup and absolutely essential for this. Lastly, we're grabbing Remnant for that overkill damage. Remnant orbs don't work that great in this game. They're kind of buggy. They love to not hit anything, but when they do hit something, the overkill damage is ridiculous, as you saw. And it is one of the most enjoyable parts of this build is seeing the Remnant orbs hit things for ridiculous amounts of damage. Now, we are using the driver, and unfortunately, we can't get all the way down to Helping Hands. We can't get to Mindfulness. But Moxsy, Mindfulness scales with the driver. The faster we move, the more damage we get, and we're using ion cannons, which are slow, and we don't have full points in Mindfulness. Why'd you do that? We did that because we don't need actually more damage, and we couldn't get all the way to Mindfulness. These points here are too important that when I originally made this build and I was trying it out, I wanted Arms Deal, I wanted Mindfulness. This setup is better. We can't get it, and I wish we could, but we're still getting the 3 points from this, so we're still getting the movement speed, we're still getting the shield recharge delay, and we're still getting the damage reduction. We're just not getting as much of it. Now, for those that you don't know, this is the Ion Cannon. The Ion Cannon is a dedicated drop from the Fabricator in the Moxsy's Heist DLC, and these are a guaranteed drop, so they're super easy to farm because they're a guaranteed drop. We'll play the clip on how to farm them real quick. So if you use a recursion on Amara, you can one-shot the Fabricator. It makes it the easiest farm in the game. So getting these Ion Cannons is not that hard. It is lucky to get them, but you're going to be looking for an annexed Scathing Ion Cannons with splash damage on them. And the splash damage is the best anoint we can get. This build works great for mobbing and killing things. If you want to use a Phase Slam Ion Cannon for the most damage, you totally can. If you want to switch it up and shoot a boss, I would throw on a I don't know if I have a Phase Slam. Oh, here, something like this, a Phase Slam Ion Cannon for the absolute max damage. But for running through the takedown, For mobbing, for general most things, you don't actually need the phase slam. We do so much damage with just the splash damage anointment, which is what I think was going to be the best anointment for these for general use. And now we get into a core part of this build that allows us to never run out of ammo. Because we're not Moes, we don't have crazy ammo regen, but you can run this build without ever running out of ammo, and it's because of this shield, the Big Boom Blaster. Now, before you look at the Terra ammo regen on it, don't worry about that right now. Let me just show you something. So see all these boosters? Those boosters are giving us rocket launcher ammo. But unfortunately, an enemy has to shoot us for us to get those boosters. Except if you're Amara and you can phase grasp, self-proc a dot on yourself, and constantly drop ammo all the time. Literally unlimited ammo. That's all you need is a Big Boom Blaster and a driver class mod, and you will be able to sustain unlimited ammo on your ion cannon, which is so cool. I am using Terra on my Big Boom Blaster so that I'm regenning ammo while I'm shooting. If you can't get a Terra Big Boom Blaster, that is okay. You will be fine. I promise you, you will be fine. You will get the drops and you will get the ammo, but you just won't have as much ammo regen as if you had Terra. But it is okay if you can't get a Terra shield. If you can't use a Big Boom Blaster with Terra, I strongly recommend getting an on-action skill and Big Boom Blaster with bonus elemental damage. That'll push your damage even crazier. And I'm going to be looking out for one of those. At the moment, I don't think I have one. So I'm using an Apply Terra Hex. But if you don't have a Terra Ammo Regen Blaster, use an on-action skill end one. That may honestly be better. And then an on-action skill end bonus elemental damage Hex. But for the ammo sustain, it is nice to have Terra. I was using an Elemental Projector Victory Rush, which was giving me movement speed, which is really nice to have, because if you guys didn't know, while you're holding the ion cannon, you are slower. So that's why Mindfulness is nice to have. Mindfulness is going to give us more movement speed, and this Projector Victory Rush is nice. I mean, we get great grenade damage. The area effect damage is nice, and the magazine size is nice. Terror ammo regen is scaled off of magazine size, so that gives us more magazine size. And I was just using the same spiritual driver. I don't think I have a better one than this. I'm only getting plus 25 weapon damage, so we're not using a crazy spiritual driver. This is still my regular one that I've used in all of my videos. It is really nice. It has weapon damage, action skill cooldown rate. I'm going to be looking out for a heavy weapon damage, one with weapon damage, something like that, which will push this build even crazier. But as you can tell, without bonus damage on our shield, without bonus damage on our grenade, and with only plus 25% weapon damage on our driver, you hit harder than anything in the game right now. It is absolutely crazy. I will be keeping my eye out for crazier and crazier gear, but for the moment, this is what I have. It's not perfect, it's really good, but we're only going to be able to do more damage with this build, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I will be dropping the save file for this like I always do. If you don't have the gear for this, if you're not on PC, join our Discord. The Discord right now, the trading for Xbox and PS4 has been popping off. People are being so helpful in there. So if you need something if you need to trade for something, make sure to join the Discord. The link for that will be in the description. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Join as a member if you would like. And thank you so much, guys. Have a happy, freaking great New Year. We're starting it off with a bang. This build is so much fun. You guys are going to love it. Peace.